Every person in this world has fears. Some are afraid of the dark, some are afraid of heights. There are thousands of different fears in this world. But there is one thing that will happen to every human being: death. Every human being knows that one day they will die. Some people are constantly afraid of death. Especially people with certain health problems can be more afraid of it. Putin is one of those people who experience this fear. Putin is now becoming paranoid because of this fear. Putin does very interesting things because of this fear. Putin is embarrassing everyone because of this fear. So why Putin is so afraid? What are Putin's health problems? What is happening in Russia? We have researched the answers to all these questions for you. Let's start if you're ready. Vladimir Putin, the 70-year-old leader of Russia, has been suffering from many health problems for a long time. Putin has been ruling Russia since 1999. It is known to everyone that he has had many health problems during this period. However, Putin is trying to hide all of these diseases. Putin blocks all news about his health problems. Putin has recently started to experience more health problems. There are two reasons for these problems. First, Putin is now much more older. The average life expectancy of men in Russia is 68 years. Putin now suffers from many health problems due to his old age. Putin has lived a physically demanding life since his childhood. Putin was interested in martial arts from a young age. During these sports, he suffered a lot of damage to his body. Many of his bones were broken, and some of his organs were damaged. This affected Putin for a long time. The other thing that causes Putin's health problems is stress and anxiety. Putin has been going through a very difficult time politically for a long time. First of all, the Chechen rebels did a lot of damage to Putin. Putin suffered a heavy defeat in this war. But in the end, he got rid of his problems by cooperating with Kadyrov. Even though Putin got rid of this problem, he lost a lot of political power in Russia. The poor state of the Russian economy has also increased the anger of the Russian people against Putin. Putin started a new war to suppress criticism in his country. Putin planned to increase his political power by invading Ukraine. But this was not possible because the Ukrainian army showed incredible success in this war. The success of the Ukrainian army in this war surprised everyone. Putin was the most surprised. As a result of the success of the Ukrainian army, Putin suffered a very heavy defeat. The generals closest to Putin were killed by the Ukrainian army. The Russian army also suffered a heavy losses in this war. This also affected the Russian economy. That's why the Russian people started to react more against Putin. Putin now knows that his career in Russia has come to an end. Moreover, millions of people living in Russia are very angry against Putin. Experts who study Russian politics claim that Putin has no longer governed Russia. This is causing Putin a lot of stress. Putin cannot win this war and regain the support of the Russian people. On the other hand, news about Putin's health problems are increasing day by day. It is even claimed that Putin is suffering from panic attacks due to the stress he is under. It is also said that Putin has started to have problems in his hand and leg muscles. According to experts, the main reason for this problem is the heavy stress Putin is under. Ukrainian army crashed Putin's health system. On the other hand, there is a new claim about Putin's health problems every day in Russian press. Putin's programs change frequently and doctors are present in all of Putin's programs. It is claimed that Putin is often under treatment in a special section in the Kremlin palace. The Kremlin leadership has consistently denied these allegations, but it does not share concrete information on this issue. No one believes the Kremlin statements. The Kremlin's statements about the war between Russia and Ukraine are also constantly misinformed. Dozens of lies told by Kremlin spokespersons who have already been exposed. That's why no one believes the Kremlin's statements. On the other hand, all democratic states are obligated to inform the public about the health status of the head of a state. This is because a head of a state can sometimes make wrong decisions due to the health problems. In Russia, however, the government refuses to share concrete information about Putin's health. It's only claim that Putin is healthy. This is causing the Russian people to lose confidence in the Kremlin. The Russian people no longer believe anything Putin says. Health problems are not the only reason for Putin's fear of death. There is something else that causes great fear for Putin. Putin is afraid of assassination attempts against him. Explosions in many parts of Russia have increased Putin's fear. Especially the recent explosions in Kremlin Palace has made Putin even more afraid. Ukrainian intelligence organized assassinations of high-ranking officials in the Russian army. Many of Putin's men were killed in special operations. All this made Putin even more afraid. Putin has increased security measures. It is known that the number of Putin's stunt doubles has increased. On the other hand, the number of bodyguards in Putin's convoy has increased even more. Putin is implementing extraordinary security policies. For example, Putin had a special armored train built for him. Putin makes all his trips within Russia using the armored train. Putin used to use private planes for his domestic troops. However, since these planes were detected by raiders, Putin no longer uses these planes. It is known that they spent millions of dollars for the huge train he uses. On the other hand, the cars in Putin's motorcade are also known to have a special armor. Putin takes a lot of precautions in case he is attacked during the journey. It is also known that Putin had a special body armor made for himself. Putin wears this armor under his clothes in many programs. Putin is stepping up his security measures. But these measures often reveals just how scared Putin is. The Russian people are making fun of Putin's extraordinary measures. Especially Putin's latest decision has become a cause of ridicule for people in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin was due to address the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. Before Putin arrived in the hall, the authorities sprayed disinfectant everywhere. The podium that Putin would use was especially cleaned. It is claimed that Putin is afraid of being poisoned, and that is why he takes such precautions. It is also known that Putin does not eat any food other than the food made by his own chefs. Putin is constantly taking extraordinary measures for the fear of being poisoned. What do you think about this great fear of Russian President Vladimir Putin is experiencing? Do you think there will be an assassination attempts on Putin? How did Putin's death affect the course of the war? What do you think about the Putin's health problems? Don't forget to share your opinions with us. Follow us for more updates.